You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Hey, this is Dick from Lone Star Community Radio. We have a big announcement for Lone Star Community Radio and our listeners. We have partnered with another TV station. That's right, you'll be seeing Lone Star Community Radio content on KVQT, Channel 12 in the Houston area. Now is a great time to start a show or sponsor a show with Lone Star Community Radio. For more information on everything that is happening, visit us online at irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776 and leave a message. And we want to also wish everyone a safe and happy Thanksgiving.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hello and welcome to the Ticket Stub. Connor, Dick, and Chris here. Guys, I'm back. Y'all made it without me. You struggled,
We did struggle.
but you're here.
And some say we were better off.
See, some do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when Dick's allowed to lead the show, it goes in a really, really dark direction. I like to think that I bring the light and the positivity.
Well, my favorite part was, I don't know if you mentioned it verbally that you weren't going to be here, but when Chris got here, I was like, this is unlike Connor not to be here early.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said it on the show several times.
Yeah.
You did.
No, there's so much proof that either, like, I'm dementia, I ignore people, or I just don't care. I think that's kind of a mixture.
It's probably a
of the
combination
two.
of the three in some order.
But it's not uncommon for you to go, hey, did you see what I wrote? I'm like, nope.
Yeah, well, also that happened, in fact, just a little bit ago.
Yes, it did.
Did you read the rundown? Dick's like, oh, yeah, I read it this week. Oh, so you know about the game. No, I
No,
don't.
but then I
don't know
go,
about
was
the
it
game.
towards the bottom?
Correct.
Because I didn't get to the bottom of the email.
Yeah, on the email you have to scroll sometimes to see certain things. Anyways, everybody, we're glad you're joining us here on the Ticket Stub this week. Connor, Dick, and Chris in studio live every Thursday on FM 104.5 and 106.1 in the Conroe area. We also have a YouTube channel, the Ticket Stub Podcast. You can also find us on our Facebook, Ticket Stub Podcast, as well as Twitter at @_Ticket Stub. We did a Twitter poll this week. Would you still go see a movie that Kevin Spacey was starring in? Because that came up on the show last week. And hate to say it, 58% of respondents said yes.
Really?
58% said yes. I guess our listeners are degenerates.
I guess so.
And don't care about women. I'm
And
not
boys.
Sure.
It's the boys,
Yeah, that's,
bro.
that's actually a good
Boys,
point.
yeah.
Yeah, I forgot Spacey's doing the boys. Yeah.
Maybe they just don't care about boy on boy. Maybe.
Maybe so. They just don't care about the boy on boy. I'm not sure we have any female listeners. So I'm
We're
not
already
sure that,
better than last week.
Yeah,
already.
we're off to a good start. Give me a break. So anyways, also our podcast. Everybody, I want to encourage y'all to tell a friend because the show keeps growing every week. We're having more listeners, which is exciting. And the more people that listen, the more fun stuff we get to do, including something we've been talking about, which is a live event that we hope to have figured out sometime soon, but we just haven't had any time to actually talk to each other about it. But at some point, we'll get an idea together.
Don't send it over email.
Yeah, I
We
won't.
know,
Yeah.
we know that's going to go nowhere.
Or just put it in the subject line. Like everything you need to know has to be in the subject.
Just send it by certified mail.
So I
And
know
then we'll
that
know for
Yeah,
sure I
so
got
he
it.
has to sign for it. yeah.
Exactly. Well, so what we're going to do this week, we're going to rewind some of the movies we've seen over the last week. We've got a grand ticket giveaway to do at the end of the show. We are going to talk about some movie news here in just a minute. And we're going to be playing a game that Chris came up with. So it's all on him if this game sucks.
Yep.
Called Stump The Buras.
And if he wins, we can still blame you for cheating?
Yes, I'd cheat no matter what.
And
no matter what the circumstances.
Well, that's because you're a winner.
Chris, why don't you give us a brief, give us a 30-second version, and you can give more details later, but just tell us who Burris is and what this game is going to be.
Well, the Burris is Justin Burris, and he's one of my assistant managers at the theater. And he is a, I don't want to say idiot savant because that's not fair to him, but
That's rude.
he's
Random fact savant?
How about
Random
genius
fact.
savant?
Yes, genius.
He's not an idiot savant.
No, he's not. Did I use that
No,
correctly?
I think you did.
feel
I'm
like
just
I
being,
didn't.
yeah, no, you did. I'm just
Okay.
being stupid. Yeah.
No, but he
Is he on
is
the spectrum?
very. Well, you know, we
I'm
take
just
it.
trying to understand how we're coding this right now.
Guys, he's sitting like 20 feet away from us right now.
We're just trying to get him pumped to get on the radio.
He's handsome. He's nice.
Yes.
He's
Well,
well spoken.
Well,
And
they'll
he's
be able
not-
to see him
no,
on
yes.
YouTube.
So he works
Absolutely.
he works at the Grand Theater.
Yes, he does. He's been with me since 2007, and he really has a plethora of knowledge
Okay.
about films and film grosses.
Specifically
and so
opening weekend.
It's specifically opening
Hey,
weekend.
is this a coup? Are y'all getting me out of the show?
Yeah, the Burris is
And
coming.
we're having someone better? Because is this what's going on?
Yeah, it's awkward right now. He can also engineer radio shows.
TV shows?
He has a lot of
Has
talent.
a degree in film and television.
So is the Burris? Is
engineering.
this an inspirational story of a young man who started as like the popcorn sweeper and now he's worked his way up to?
Sort of, yeah. He started as a concessionist, then he moved up to a supervisor, and then a manager after that.
Wow, I'm getting a little teared up just thinking about it.
I know.
All right,
it's
well,
a lovely story.
Well, we'll have the Burris on a little
Maybe
later
we
on.
can star Kevin Spacey.
Oh,
Will you play your part, Chris?
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey's the theater manager, and there's
Let's open up a huge HR case on that one.
there's a nubile concession boy.
You know he's regretting this.
He's so mad that he's here right now. All right, well, we're gonna class this show up a little bit. We're gonna come back to the Burris later on, but I wanted to start the show off talking about a little movie news. So this is something that I think actually came up. Dick, did you mention this last week? The Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Did you read this article that I sent you?
Well, I know we talked about how movie theaters, how they were restricting how long they had to play the new Star Wars film and how much proceeds go to who, and then
So you were kind of talking more in terms of Disney just trying to control what the theaters are doing. Well, a news story came out. Actually, it's been kind of a building news story where Disney was really pushing against the LA Times. Okay, they were Disney was, because the LA Times was given some kind of critical, takes on Disney and everything they'd been doing. So Disney,
more specifically, it was Disneyland. They were getting involved with the local government, and they were doing some backdoor dealing about parking and stuff like that to save money, and then they make more money. And it had really nothing to do with movies in general. It was just Disneyland. They were just saying, "Hey, you're really crappy to the local people here."
And so the LA Times started writing these critical articles of Disney. So what Disney did was they restricted all.
They just continue being crappy.
They restricted all pre-screening access for these LA Times, writers or critics and everything like that. Said that basically some of the perks of being a critic is that you get to see it ahead of time, so you can obviously write a review of it. And they boycotted them. So the LA Times kind of came back and started doing a little bit of a smear campaign against Disney. Ultimately, Disney has now caved and said, okay, we'll allow LA Times to have this relationship back. So it's been kind of this back and forth between these two different media groups, and they've been kind of fighting this fight. Disney tried to step in as kind of the bully position. Do y'all think, is Disney justified here in doing this? Because it is kind of their right, I guess, to restrict that access, or is it not? What do y'all think?
Well, I'm going to use my time since I'm a bit restricted on what I can say about Disney.
Okay.
I found the 3 best Disney jokes that I could find on the internet.
Disney's a great organization.
So the first one is, why can't you give Elsa a balloon? Because she will let it go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's
Do they get better?
Tarzan's favorite Christmas carol? Jungle Bells.
Okay.
Jungle Bells. And one final one. This is my favorite one.
Okay.
What do you call? Sorry. What do you call a dancing ghost?
I don't know, man.
Pocahontas.
Okay. Let's all take a moment of radio silence
Yes, we
just to
should.
let these jokes really
And-
wash over
and
us.
that is my time. Dick.
Okay, thank you. No, we'll defer to Dick. Dick, what do you think about Disney Channel?
The channel?
Well, not the channel, Disney.
Oh,
Company.
the situation? I don't.
That's so Raven.
When I saw it unraveling, I kind of had to laugh because I thought it was something that they were really mad about. But it's literally they're mad about. Oh, we don't want to screen your movies before it comes out. So I felt that was kind of silly because it's kind of like a privilege.
You thought
right?
who was being silly? LA Times?
No, yeah, the journalists. And I just don't see it being that big of a deal to see a movie ahead of time. I'm talking about business wise.
Yeah.
Because would you say? I guess if Chris can talk about it. Do critics today really have that much of an impact outside of like Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, but I think that Rotten Tomatoes is based on is what they write. To be a part of that scene, you have to be screening and seeing.
Yeah, but does Disney produce movies that are always a hit or miss with the crowds? Like to me, Disney usually releases bigger movies that are going to be successful no matter what. It depends on what audience they're going for. Like,
I think a Disney movie is review proof. I would think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so what does it really matter? And then you have this group of journalists who, what I love is they're basically tainting their own journalism integrity by saying we're not going to review these movies, and because if we did, we would talk trash about Disney.
Yeah, but you have to think it's less about them caring about how the movie does as it is they need content for whatever their company. Their newspaper or their website. They need content.
I think they would hurt more because they're not reviewing Star Wars.
Well, that's the whole point. That's why they, I think that's why they were so mad about the boycott. So what side of this are you taking?
I'm taking Disney's side
Okay, because
they have the bigger stick.
okay. And they didn't do anything wrong, or what? Or they did something wrong and you just don't think who cares?
Well, again, we're talking about something that was a privilege, and they just took it away because, hey, we didn't really like the way you look at us. Basically, if you, in my mind, I imagine some guys like, hey, if they review their movies, they're going to talk trash about us no matter what because they don't like us. Because look what they're reporting, and then they were talking about something that's pre-screening, not they can't go see the movie. So, and then I guarantee the LA Times guys like, well, if we're not going to review Star Wars, there goes a couple papers because we're not going to be able to sell that.
Yeah, so one of the things they're trying to spin this as, and Chris, maybe you can't talk about this, is the LA Times is trying to act like this was an attack on their free speech. You know, like
they can't go to a pre-screening.
Yeah, I read that in the article. They were trying to say this was like a First Amendment thing. I don't know is that just the default mode of every argument we have to have in 2017.
Well, I mean, it's really sad if freedom of speech involves having to go see the latest Star Wars movie, and that's my freedom of speech.
I have the right. I have the unalienable right to see Star Wars.
Yeah, that's
before
a
you,
huge miss.
before the audience. So, like I said, when I read it, I was kind of silly. And
yeah, my thing is, who does the LA Times think they are? Like, I don't live in LA, so I don't know how prominent that newspaper is. Maybe it's like a huge deal in LA. Mm-hmm. But to me, it's like, I mean, I guess this became national news and Disney caved. So I guess in that way,
I can't believe they caved. Something happened.
Maybe
they probably had something like WikiLeaks, some BS.
You think they've got some insider? They got videos of Trump or something?
Well, some Disney exec. Oh, you're the next harasser.
Well, you know, one of the things I've heard is that what's the Disney dude's name? The head of Disney. Shoot, I forget what his name is, but I've heard that he's like, there's a strong thing where he's maybe going to try to run for president in the next few years. And so he's trying to like minimize any controversy surrounding him. So I don't know if this could be another example of that, but I've heard that like this Disney guy, in fact, I'm going to look up his name right now. Do what? Robert Iger, thank you. Yeah, Robert Iger. You know that he is got this political ambition, and you know he's like the richest person in the world almost, not really, but he's super rich. And so there's this idea that maybe he'll try to do that. And so on the front end, maybe he's looking at Donald Trump right now and he's saying, I'm going to try to start minimizing my controversies before I run, rather than just let them all hit me after I get elected. I don't know. So that's one thought. But is the consensus maybe that the journalists were being a little bit oversensitive, a little bit?
I feel like there's more of the story than really what's being reported, because we're talking about pre-screening here. We're not. It's not that big of a deal. It's not like Disney goes, you're never allowed into see any of our movies, and people can do that. I mean, people can say, hey, we don't like the way you're covering Disney or us. We feel like if you cover our movies, you're going to have a slander towards it because you don't like us. So why not? Donald Trump did the same thing. You know.
Yeah, you know.
Why not?
I mean, honestly, I think the real takeaway from this, Dick, is that you and I need to get screening privileges at the Grand to see movies before they come out.
And then we can talk trash about it?
And then we can talk trash about it, and then we can join.
Yeah, that'll go great for me, man.
Well, you know, good news for Disney, though. Kevin Spacey was only in 2 Disney movies.
Oh, really?
And it was before the 2000s, so no one's really going to remember that.
So who cares about it?
So good news for the guy running for president.
The Burras doesn't know about their opening weekends. It doesn't matter. It's out of the realm of jurisdiction, so who cares? All right, well, we're going to cut to break. When we come back, we're going to spend some time rewinding some of the movies that we have seen over the last week. And then after that, we're going to play a game called Stump The Buras. And then towards the end of the show, we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater. So stick with us here on the Ticket Stub.
This is not a drill.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776.
Hey guys, I'm Joey Savage.
Corey DLG.
We are Nerd Thug Radio. Catch us every Monday from 1 to 3 and check out our website, nerdthugradio.com.
We like to talk about quilting, horseback riding, and baking quiche.
Actually, we don't, but we do like talking nerdy to you.
That's right. Every Monday from 1 to 3 p.m., hashtag talking nerdy to you.
Welcome back to the Ticket Stub. Connor, Dick, and Chris in studio. We spent the first segment talking about Disney and their feud with the LA Times. Now we're going to spend a little time rewinding some of the movies that we've seen.
Sorry, one of our Facebook listeners, Stubby, one of our Stubbies, he mentioned that multiple award outlets were banning Disney from winning any awards and possibly the Academy Award. And then a bunch of other news outlets were boycotting Disney. So
this goes
that's
deeper.
what his explanation why they caved.
So this is going deeper. Like they were starting to make some impact on the Oscar race. Okay. Well, that definitely explains why they.
I wouldn't have given in. I'm like, we have Star Wars. We can do about it.
We can do whatever we want.
We can do whatever we want.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna rewind the movies we've seen over the last week. I listened to last week's show, and we were just talking about this off air. Chris listened to Medea Boo 2, which was thrilling.
Well, I will.
Thrilling radio.
I pretty much listened to it. I had my eyes shut the whole time.
Watched it.
Medea Boo 1 is on Amazon Prime streaming. Just to let everyone know, I started watching it.
Did you really?
I started watching it because I was like, I've never seen a Medea movie, and
that's worth the $99 a year.
The production reminds me of those like American Pie 5. You ever seen those kind of movies?
Like the straight to video, where it's like bocce ball,
Yeah,
American Pie, bocce ball.
Is that am I right? Is that a good way to compare it? It's like
I would think
direct
so,
to DVD.
Yes, very low budget. Very low budget.
You know, I saw the Diary of the Black Woman, and everybody that was the first. That's where Medea came on the scene, and it was supposed to be like a legit, like kind of drama with
commentary on old people.
Well, no, she was like a side character in the first one. The first one was about a marriage between like this rich guy who basically kicks his wife out because he wants to marry like the new hot girl or whatever. And Medea was that girl's like aunt or grandma or something. Chris, you probably know all about this. I should defer to you.
Mm-hmm.
But then Medea got introduced, and she was kind of funny in that movie. I guess that movie was bad, I thought, but people liked it. But man, it got a life of its
I don't
own.
think Medea's funny. I like the supporting characters. Those are funny.
Oh, like all the Tyler Perry playing all the other relatives?
Yeah.
So you don't like
Medea is his weakest character, I think. He's done the least method acting research on that one.
The other ones, the fat uncle who likes to shoot people. That's really where he really gets his chops.
Yep.
Okay, so let's spend a little time. That's the past. Okay, let's live in the present here. Chris, you said you saw a movie this week. Tell us a little bit about it.
I did. I saw Becoming Bond, which is, I'll read the synopsis here. It's a stranger-than-fiction true story of George Lazenby, a poor Australian car mechanic who, through an unbelievable set of circumstances, landed the role of James Bond on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Despite having never acted a day in his life, then being offered the next 7 Bond films and a $1 million signing bonus, which he turned all of those down. If I could give a movie 6 stars instead of 5,
really,
I would give this 6 stars.
Did you just give a documentary?
It's a half and half. It's half documentary and half movie. It's George Lazenby basically sitting in a chair, and it's him, and he's telling the story, and then it kind of cuts to actors. Yeah, actors playing.
Wait, so did he actually? So he played. Was he the first Bond?
No, he was the second Bond.
Okay, who was the first Bond?
Sean Connery.
Oh, Sean
Connery.
Connor.
Really?
Well, I know Sean Connery was Bond, but I don't know. I can't remember the Bond.
Are you sure?
No, I know that he played Bond. What are you talking about? I'm not sure. Yes, I'm sure he was a Bond. I don't know which one he was. I'm not a Bond expert. I know, Timothy Dalton. I know that there was several different Bonds.
Right.
I don't know all of their orders. So he was the second one. But how did they find this guy?
Well, he was a male model before that, and he kind of snuck his way into the James Bond audition, kind of cheated his way in, and just basically skipped all the other people that were in line and just walked in and said, I hear you're looking for a James Bond. And they basically were just like, okay. And pretty much, and that's kind of how he says it happened.
Did they explain why he didn't want to play Bond 7 more times and become super
they
famous?
did. He just was. He said he enjoyed playing Bond, but when he would go for interviews, he just wanted to be himself, and they kind of treated him as James Bond, and he just kind of was like, "Well, that's not me. I played it in the movie. I'm not James Bond now. I'm George Lazenby." So and he just. And they asked him, "Would you rather play Bond in 7 more films or sell cars?" Because that's what he did before that, and he said, "Sell cars," and that's what he did.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I don't think he chose wisely, though.
I think he chose poorly.
No, I don't. Yeah, you can tell there may be a little hint of regret in there, but
just maybe a little bit, right? Because theoretically, he could have then been in other movies also, not just James Bond. So this is the story, and so he doesn't direct this, but someone came to him and wanted him to tell his story, I guess, and he goes back at the end. What is his looking back? Does he seem happy about the experience?
He does seem happy. I think most of his regrets have to do with a relationship that kind of failed because he took the role of James Bond with one particular girl. But
he made the right decision being in Bond. There's more fish in the sea, and then he chose again poorly. What?
Yeah. But it's great. And even if you're not a Bond fan, like my wife watched it with me. She's not really a Bond fan, and she just loved it. She wanted to watch On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Have you
immediately,
seen On Her Majesty's
Oh
Secret
yeah,
Service? Okay,
yeah, many times.
So you were pretty familiar with him leading up.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause that's a Bond movie I haven't seen.
What's strange too, Chris? I'm looking at IMDb. He has been in a lot of movies since then.
Yeah.
So it's not like he quit acting.
No, but there's a gap. There's like a huge gap, I think.
So, well, looking up here, we got 1969 and 1972. Universal Soldier, man, that's what movie he was in.
Oh, okay.
So,
Dude, I like that one.
no, it's a different one. It's an English thing.
Oh, then never mind. I don't like that. If it's not from America, I don't watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Becoming Bond, and you would recommend it with 6 out of 5 stars.
6 out of 5.
An unrealistic grading system.
And it's
6
just
out
on
of 5.
Hulu. It's just on Hulu. It's
Okay.
it's a Hulu exclusive. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, cool. I have actually my
No
friend
plug
has
there.
Yeah. Yeah, we won't do that.
Hey, I just signed up just to watch this movie.
Did you really?
I did.
Worth
yeah.
it though, huh?
Yeah.
Becoming Bond, and it's this year, right?
It
2017.
is 2017. Yep.
All right, everybody, check that out if you love Bond or if you just like a good documentary. So, Dick, what did you see this week?
I saw the epic Cloud Atlas.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
this is one that you assigned yourself like 12 or 13 weeks ago, probably.
Yeah, and I finally got around to it.
Finally paid it off.
Came out in 2012, directed by the transgender Wachowskis?
The sister brothers.
Sisters.
Yeah.
They're both sisters now.
Okay.
So, I just call them the Matrix directors. That's what we
There
like
we
to
go.
call
The
them.
directors of the Matrix.
The Matrix directors. One thing I did not know going into this movie, folks, is it's long. And it's about 3 hours long. I did not know that. And after the first 30, 40 minutes, the movie wasn't going anywhere. It was at a crawl's pace. And I was like, this movie, is this just going to end? Is it going to be one of those artsy movies where there it is? Well, no, it didn't end then, but it did end like that. But one thing I have to ask, who's seen it here in this little triangle?
I have.
I have not seen it.
Okay. When is it okay to do Asian face and white face, but not black face?
I thought it was Asian people who played the Asian people.
No, the cool thing about the movie that I really liked was the cinematography was really nice, and then somehow basically the plot is just like 4 to 6 stories going on, spanning a lot of time, and
Like the past, the future, alternate.
Yeah, just like that. And one thing they did is they basically had a group of actors, like 12 actors, 15 actors, and they played different roles in each time, and they did makeup to the 9 on everybody. Like Tom Hanks, you couldn't really tell it was Tom Hanks. It was Tom Hanks. Sometimes you really could tell. But one thing they did that was really weird, and I just didn't know, is like Halle Berry played, from what I understand, a Jewish white woman, and it was just kind of like, wait, that's Halle Berry? And then I had to like go back and look, and it was, and they used a lot of prosthetics, and I was like, can they do that now? Can we?
Yeah, I don't remember Halle Berry in whiteface, so I'll have to look that one up. But you're saying so her face was like powdered white?
Yeah, everything. It was she played a white Jewish woman in the blonde.
Well, I'm outraged.
I'm asking the question, like,
What was Tom Hanks ever Chinese in the movie or anything like that? Or
Halle Berry was a Chinese person in it, a Chinese man.
But Tom Hanks never was.
No.
I'm trying to think. Because I'm saying that some of it was really good. I got confused. I was like, who are these people?
Oh, was that when she had the little blonde hair?
Yeah.
I remember this character now. Yeah, I guess so. I think as long as a white person doesn't portray another ethnicity,
That's what you think?
we're okay.
But
Yeah.
outside that was really cool. I like that. It got me interested. Actually, that's what got me interested, because I was like, oh, this is what they're doing. All these stories are telling it. I will say at the end, is it worth watching if you're a huge movie person? No, I don't know. Like
I like how you prefaced it with "if you're like." I was thinking, yes. Is it worth it if you're a huge movie?
Well, that's
person?
what really got
if you
what
enjoy
weirded me
cinema,
out
no.
is
If you
I
hate
know
movies,
like
also no.
Roger Ebert gave it like 4 stars, says it's one of like the best movies of 2012, and I was sitting there I kind of watched each scene again, and it reminded me of Inglourious Basterds in the sense of like every scene was really cool, but as a movie as a whole, I didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
And this is certainly one of those movies because it's long, man. You could probably do each storyline is probably 40 minutes. And
what I remember, the takeaways from that for me was the way it looked. You know, and that's what you're like. The images, the cinematography, the way they shot it, all that stuff was really, really cool. And then the score, that was kind of almost a character in the movie. I think was the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I thought that was integrated pretty cool, as well as the way the characters intersected with each other.
Well, that was
from different
kind
time
of
periods.
that was kind of the premise of the film is everything's connected.
Yeah.
And like we drive the future by the things that we do, and I liked it. But then they should have just gone to the full like supernatural, like just done it. Because this movie had to like kind of connect it. You didn't know if it was trying to play off as true or not, and the storytelling really wasn't that interesting to me. Like nothing really collect. And one of the weirdest things they did though is they gave Tom Hanks and the future people this weird dialect.
Yeah, it was like almost like a slang where they didn't say all the words.
Well, it was almost like for a whole generation, everyone clubbed their heads a lot, and then they gave birth, and then these are the people who are trying to learn how to speak English because they're like in the true.
Yeah.
It's like South Park or something like that.
It's like Idiocracy,
Yes.
where your language gets all dumbed down. All right, Cloud Atlas. So you're saying recommend, maybe not so much.
Netflix, if you have 3 hours to have fun, I mean, don't do it. But
What he said. But remember, he said if you like cinema,
Then no.
you would hate this.
You would hate
no,
this.
actually, I guarantee you'd love it. If someone, because I hope these folks who are in the studio love it.
If you
'Cause
use the word-
I want to talk about someone who actually, like Roger Ebert gave it 4 stars, best movie. I'm like, man, 2012, nothing much to.
If you love to say the word
happen.
cinema, then you will like Cloud Atlas.
I think
that's,
so.
That's probably the truth.
It's the
All right.
true.
All right. Hey, that's the true, man. For sure. All right. The movie I saw this week was Thor Ragnarok, in theaters now, PG-13, 2 hours and 10 minutes, directed by Taika Waititi, who also directed Hunt for the Wilder People and What We Do in the Shadows. I looked him up on IMDb. He looks like Adrian Grenier from Entourage, but he's not. He's a different guy. But anyways, I don't know if you saw there's a Hunt for the Wilder People. That was kind of an interesting movie. I'll talk about that another week. But it's starring Chris Hemsworth. It's got everybody: Tom Hiddleston, Kate Blanchett, Jeff Goldblum, Mark Ruffalo, Carl Urban, a bunch of other people as well. Cameo by Doctor Strange. They're trying to tie all these continue to tie all these worlds together. That felt totally unnecessary, if I'm just being honest.
I think they just like to remind people that they have
Yeah.
Cumberbatch in their universe. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's close.
Hey, ladies,
Cumberbatch.
we have this hot guy still in this universe. Come see his next movie in 4 years.
But I mean, basically the way Doctor Strange was incorporated was like he sucked in Thor for a minute, talked to him for a few minutes, and then like shot him out to another place. And afterwards, I was thinking we probably could have totally avoided that, but they wanted to just tie it all to the Marvel world, I guess. So IMDb says, imprisoned, the almighty Thor finds himself in a lethal gladiatorial contest against the Hulk, his former ally. The Thor must fight for survival and race against time to prevent the all-powerful Hela from destroying his home and the Asgardian civilization. So the stakes are pretty high, guys. Yeah, stakes are pretty high. So the whole part about Thor, that's in the IMDb. That was like one part of it, but it didn't seem like a major plot point. Basically, what this was Deadpool was really popular, so now every superhero movie is like a comedy, right? For a while, Batman Begins came out, and then The Dark Knight came out, and for several years, every superhero movie had to be like gritty and dark and angry and, backstory and all that kind of stuff. And then Deadpool came out and was such a huge hit. Now everybody's like, oh, we need to have like, action, punchline, action. And that's basically what this movie did. I mean, it was marketed that way, right?
Yeah. So his hair is long in the beginning.
Yes.
And then at some point he gets a haircut.
He does.
Is that mentioned?
Oh, it is. Guess who does the haircut? Stan Lee. Oh my goodness.
nice.
Oh, he
Okay.
made a cameo and it was
Okay.
hilarious and everyone laughed. And I'm like, God, how played out is this? Whenever, I mean, I don't.
Wait, did you just kind of suddenly go, I wish he was dead?
Well, hold on. Let me.
That's what I heard.
What I was
Stan
going to
said
say
that.
is I don't
Stan Lee
wish
is
I don't
played
wish
out.
death on anybody. I really don't. And Stan Lee, I'm sure, is a great man. And
They're probably going to CGI him in every movie afterwards.
probably so. It's just like it's the most distracting thing.
Would
in the
it
world.
be great if he's like Stan Lee the baby?
Yeah, gosh. They'll probably do some movie about his life at some point, and it'll probably be like win every Oscar. But my thing is that I understand that they don't think these superhero movies are like top-notch cinema, okay? Like Cloud Atlas, for instance.
Yeah.
But if you want to pull someone out of a story, throw Stan Lee in a really distracting scene that has nothing to do with anything else, because that's what it has become
all
every
I'm
single
hearing
time.
is there's a bunch of distracting scenes in this movie.
Well, every scene is slightly distracting. But I will say this movie is funny. They tried to be funny. It was funny, lots of laughs. Sometimes I feel like movies kind of try to force it a little bit where there's like so many laughs, so many spots. I think they maybe could have toned it back a little bit and still had a good movie.
So like the Emoji Movie.
Nothing like the Emoji Movie.
No,
Yeah.
like every line was a joke.
Yeah, but these jokes were funny though sometimes.
Well, there was a poo joke in the movie.
Yeah,
that was kind of funny.
You did like the. I like how the one time you've been to the theater in the last like 3 years is for the Emoji Movie.
Hey, worth it. The Grand.
Totally worth it. Go to the Grand Theater. So the movie's very self-aware. It has 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. I would say it's a little bit worse than that, but still a really good movie. Definitely worth seeing. It's a big one in theaters. And the one last thing I'll say, and then we got to go to break. Kate Blanchett. I was 100% ready to hate Kate Blanchett in this movie, but she actually did a pretty good job, And maybe it's because her role was to be hateable as the villain. But I was in on her. I thought that was a bad casting choice, but good job, Kate. I know you're listening. and I know you care about my opinion, so well done. So, anyways,
is it the best Marvel movie? Because that's what I've heard.
no, I don't think so. No, I wouldn't say best Marvel movie by far. I still think, I don't know, for my money, a couple of those one of those Captain America movies was really good, and I just love Iron Man. The very first Iron Man, I don't know, it was kind of new.
Did they kill Natalie Portman yet?
No, they mentioned in one line like, "Oh, sorry that Jane broke up with you." And okay,
Like that was
on.
one of that's probably the one thing I did not like that they haven't figured out yet. Like, why do that? Why have her in the movie and then?
Well, I'm not sure they know that it's going to be like Thor 2 and Thor 3 and Thor 4 when they start making them. I'm
looking at you like you're out of your mind, right?
Well, if it
like
sucks,
this is after Iron Man 3 they made Thor.
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know. Dude,
so they knew what they were doing.
Get butts
and she
seats.
knew what she was getting into.
She knew. Let's boycott her like Disney.
Good.
I love it when y'all just don't say anything. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. All right, well, we got to go to break. We're going to come back. We're going to stump the Buras here on the Ticket Stub.
Lone Star Community Radio presents the Lone Star Radio Troupe. This talented cast will perform radio plays right here in the Lone Star Studios located in downtown Conroe. There will be a new performance every first Sunday of the month. And if you miss the broadcast, just go to Lone Star Community Radio's podcast or YouTube anytime during that month. Go to our LoneStar.com archives to find the Lone Star Radio Troupe's latest play that's available. This is Lone Star Community Radio, Conroe's 104.5 FM and 106.1 FM community station. Find us on the web at irlonestar.com. Lone Star Community Radio is a supporter to the performing arts in Montgomery County, Texas.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
This is not a drill.
Repeat, this is not a drill.
Hey, welcome back on the Ticket Stub, guys. Wanted to remind all of y'all that we're here every Thursday live on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. Also, Suddenlink Channel 12. You can find us under educational programming.
And soon to be on Channel 21 in Houston.
12 and 21.
Did I tell you about that?
Mirror. No, you didn't. Chris did, though.
Yeah.
But good stuff.
You didn't get my email?
Well, was it at the bottom of the email?
It could.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Woo, call back.
No, actually, I emailed you to tell you to call me.
Yes, that it was. And so we're also on Facebook, the Ticket Stub Podcast. You can always send us an email at theticketstubpodcast@gmail.com. And like our Twitter, because I'm doing this poll thing, and I'm kind of liking it. That sounded bad, but we're making polls on Twitter, and I enjoy doing the polls on Twitter.
Nice.
So, and we did one last week about Kevin Spacey. I imagine we'll try to figure a new one out to do this week. And also, Twitter's been one of the ways that we're giving away tickets to the Grand Theater, thanks to the always kind Chris Appel. Thanks, Chris.
You are very welcome.
All right, so Chris, we're playing a game called Stump the Buras. This is your brainchild, so tell us about it.
Stump the Buras is a 3-round game where you, me, and Dick give one film each for the Buras. Justin Buras is in the house here. To guess the opening weekend gross per round. If the Buras guesses the correct gross within $5 million, no point is awarded for the current player. If the Buras is stumped and fails to guess the gross within $5 million, a point is awarded to the current player. And all films are, the late 90s to 2017. But the loser, this is the big deal.
Oh, no.
The loser reveals their celebrity crush.
Oh, my gosh, this is embarrassing.
Male or female, I guess.
Oh, okay, wow.
Hey, what is the date range? We need Burrs. What's the date range here? I can choose. I'm just not picking my movies.
We'll do like 1995 through now.
Okay.
It was in the email, and Chris just said it a minute ago.
No, he said early 90s
Oh, okay.
or late 90s, actually. So
Okay. I'm sorry. I should have said mid 90s. Would that have been more clear?
Well, at least the listeners know the exact
95.
rule.
Okay,
See, this is how they cheat. This is
95
exactly how they cheat.
Okay, so the Buras. You want to say hi to everybody?
Hello.
All right, so tell us. Thank you. This is Radio Gold, man. It's off to a good start. Okay, so Burris, how did you develop this? I'm going to say genius savant skill for movie openings.
Well, I've always been into movies. Whenever I was a teenager, I just became obsessed with like box office numbers, and ever since, and I've just been obsessed with it. So.
Okay, so were you kind of a numbers guy always, or is it just movie numbers?
No, just movie numbers, So one day I was looking, like I was watching a movie, and I had gone up online to see how much it made, and ever since then,
it's just been
every week. Yep.
You check it every week. Is Box Office Mojo your go-to, or what do you use?
Every day.
Is that your homepage?
One of them. Yeah.
One of them. Okay, I like it. Well, Burris, I'm excited to see you came up right before the show, and you were starting to try to push back against Chris's like hyping you a little bit, going like, well, I don't know if I really. We're gonna see if it's humility. Or maybe Chris just believes in his employees. What I think the odds should be is if if Chris loses, then you should get a raise. That's what I really think should happen.
I'm sorry, that's not on the.
Oh, it's not on the official rules.
The rules that I work so hard on.
Yeah, the rules are set in stone. Yeah. Okay, fine. Celebrity crush it is. All right. Well, we'll let Dick go last because he's currently making his choices in typical Ticket Stub form. So, Chris, this is your game. Why don't you see if you can stump the Burris first?
I will.
This is where we need a theme song.
Yeah.
This is where like we need to up the production. Oh, Stump the Burris. All right, go ahead.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Did you record that? Okay, so Matchstick Men.
Okay. So just so everybody knows, this is the Nicolas Cage. Let's say the movie maybe like just a little bit. Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah.
I didn't write down the date. He knows what it is.
Yeah.
You know the date? Are you like a savant with the dates too?
I want to say it's 2003.
I didn't write that down.
Okay. I may be wrong.
I wrote my dates down because I care.
Actually,
it was 2000. Man, good start.
There you go. There you go.
I want to say it did 13. 13?
That is exactly correct.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I swear to God. I wrote it down. Look.
I want to say 13,
you can't look. You can't look. Yeah, right there. Yeah. It's exactly correct. Yes, that is exactly right.
Oh, okay. Off to a good start. I was nervous about this game, but so far so good. At least Chris probably isn't going to win now.
Yeah.
So that's a positive.
So I do not get a point. Who's keeping score? I don't have a pen.
I'll keep score.
Hey, I offered a pen.
Yeah, you did offer a pen.
Okay. So Chris has a big fat 0. Not hard to keep that one up with. All right, Burris. First one for me. Movie from 2009 called Avatar.
Avatar? It's in the 70s, I know that. I want to say 77.
Oh my gosh, that's right. That's exactly correct.
So just so I understand this again, it's opening or the whole thing?
Opening wide release.
Opening wide release.
The opening weekend.
Domestic wide opening weekend.
760, I think, total, Avatar, is that right?
I didn't even write that part down, but I can find out.
It was re-released again, so.
Like that? Okay. I'm a little bit in awe at this point now. Chris, at first I was like, oh, that's pretty. 760 million total. Yeah, that's right.
What?
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So 0 for Connor too. I should have made harder choice. I was like, I'll try to give him a little bit of a boost here because I don't know that he's gonna. All right, Dick, you got one?
Got to turn my mic on. I'm gonna go with the 1996 Kazam.
Oh wow.
Okay, so this is gonna be. I feel like this is gonna be a tough one.
Yeah.
You want to try to send it to you right now? I'm looking at it. So there you go. All right. All right, we can't have like 2 minutes to air silence. You got to guess.
It's just a guess. I'm gonna say 11.
It was 5.
5. You were off by 6 million. So Dick gets the first point. Okay, that's hard.
How do I get more points?
We're gonna do 2 more rounds of this.
Oh, we're gonna get 1 point.
Yeah, 1 point.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so it's currently Dick has 1, Connor has 0, Chris has 0.
Yeah.
Wow, this is the first time. This may be the first time Dick has ever even led a game that I've played.
Oh, I already know the movies, and so I'm good. I'm ready.
If you pick everyone that's like Kazam level of ambiguity, I think I was trying to be a little kinder. All right, Chris.
I'm gonna stump the dude.
All right, Chris.
Burris. Is it Burris?
Burris.
Burris. Yeah.
Burris.
All right, Chris, you're up next.
The Alamo.
2004. I want to say it did 9. I want to say 9.
Yes, that is correct.
That's exactly.
That is exactly correct. Yes. Yeah.
22 total, I believe.
Yeah, 22 total.
I don't have. Yeah, I don't have.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. 22 total.
Yeah.
9 million opening weekend.
One of the biggest bombs ever. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. It was ranked number 4 in theaters that week, so that's not very good. Okay. Next up for me, from 2011. I feel like these are softball pitches now. I need to go pick some harder ones. From 2011, movie starring Jake Gyllenhaal called Source Code.
Source Code. 14.
So yes, that's exactly right.
Wow.
14.
See, that's an obscure choice too.
Right?
Yeah.
I thought that was a great choice because like people know source code, but no one talks about source code, right?
Yeah,
like
right.
it never comes up in your casual conversation.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, it's where he's on the train. It's kind of like Groundhog Day. He relives that same like train explosion over and over again. He tries to slowly solve it. It's a pretty cool movie, but
That's good. Yeah.
14.8 million. I hate to correct you, but I mean that was you were a little bit off. All right, Dick, what you got?
Okay, I'm gonna go with the 2004 animated movie Steam Boy.
Steam Boy. I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
It's
an Asian movie. This isn't
anime
even
or something.
I have the number. Opening weekend domestic, so eat it. It's still there.
It's like an anime cartoon.
Well, it's within 5 million, so I'm just gonna say 2 million.
Nope.
I bet you it did less than 5.
Nope.
Yeah, opening was 100,000.
Opening weekend.
Yeah, that's what it is.
My opening weekend, I'm reading right here, $136,000.
Yeah, and he gets 2 million, so you don't get a point because it was within 5.
That's the rule?
He doesn't have to get it right on. He just miraculously has been getting it right on. No, he just has to be within 5. We gave him that. That was way too generous of a buffer.
Yeah,
there, Chris.
now I got to choose my next third one. Jeez.
Yeah, you can't just do ones that have made like $100,000. Okay, Chris, this is your last chance.
This is the final round.
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland.
Is this the Johnny Depp or
the Johnny Depp one from 2010?
I may be wrong, but I want to say 116.
Dude. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
I don't think I'm going to win.
I think 0 points is not enough to win.
Yeah.
100. Hey, do you know the lifetime gross of that one domestic?
330, I believe.
334.
Yeah.
334. This is the most amazing thing I've ever witnessed in person. Okay, here's my last one. This is my last chance. From 2003, sequel to The Matrix, Matrix Reloaded.
91?
Yes, that's exactly right. 91.7 million. 91.7 million.
Wow.
This is undersold this, Chris. You undersold the Buras' skill. All right, Dick, you're up 1-0. So it doesn't really even matter, but let's hear your third one just because this is a spectacle.
Okay, I'm going to do The Rookie.
The Rookie.
That's a good one. Kind of obscure sports movie.
75 million total. I know that.
Yes, that is correct.
I want to say it's either like 9 or 13. I want to say.
Oh, you got to pick one.
Yeah,
What's your guess?
I know. I'm gonna say 13. Is that right?
16 million is the opening weekend.
Okay.
So you're within 5. So that's no point either. Oh my
so
gosh.
in the event of a loser's tie, the tied players will each provide one last film for the Buras to guess.
Well, didn't I win?
Yeah, you won.
Yeah, but it's whoever loses.
Y'all get to keep playing?
Well, we just have to.
Well, we got to break this loser's tie. So if we don't get it in this one, we both.
I thought I won.
Yeah, you did win.
So I need a congratulations or something.
well,
I finally won, so thank you.
All right.
Man, you guys are a bunch of mean people.
Well, the game's not even over yet.
So if we both do not get this one, we both reveal our celebrity crush, male or female. So
Yeah.
I will go first.
Or animal.
Mine rhymes with Blevin Twacey.
Nice.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
You like that? There
I'm a
you
big
go.
fan of hers.
Yeah, she's hot. All right, Chris, you want to go first again in the tiebreak round? Okay.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
125. Is that right? Maybe
that-
it's 4-day weekend.
That is incorrect.
Oh, what was it?
It's 100 straight up.
What's the 4-day weekend?
I don't have it.
What's the 4-day weekend?
Oh, it came out on
It's
a-
Memorial Day weekend, yeah.
Oh.
What's the 4-day weekend?
Hold on, let me see.
125, 128, something like that.
Indiana Jones, Crystal. This is 4-day weekend. Okay, hold on. I'm not doing it right.
It may be not.
Well, I'm not spelling crystal right.
Okay, so
there's a lot of pressure here. Dick, can you look up the Kingdom of the Crystal
That
Skull?
came out on a Wednesday through the Sunday?
I believe maybe Thursday, maybe. I want to say.
Thursday.
Maybe.
Okay, so what if his 4-day box office is right? Because, I mean, that's kind of a...
I guess that counts.
I think it counts.
It may be wrong, though. Maybe.
Okay, well, so you said 100. You guessed 125, and 100 is the actual.
100 is a 3-day.
I think one extra day could have bumped it 25 mil, especially if it was like a weird Thursday.
It would be the opening day of it.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
sure.
Memorial Day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so what's the question here for me?
What's the 4-day box office? Does it have that listed on Box Office Mojo for
should.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? Okay, we'll come back. You got it?
I'm trying.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. We'll build a little suspense, tease it. Mine is a movie from 2011. This is a movie I really like. It's called Warrior.
Warrior. It's either 5 or 6. I'm gonna say 5.
Yeah, 5 million.
Wow.
5.2 million.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So-
have you seen all these movies?
I've never seen the Steam Boy movie. I've never heard of it, but everything else I have, yes.
You never heard of Steam Boy?
Never have, no.
Man, Patrick Stewart voices in that.
Really?
Does he?
Yeah, and Anna Paquin.
Okay, so
Paquin.
Dick, are you
Paquin.
got the Crystal Skull yet?
All right, man. Jeez, hold on.
Well, the whole show is. I mean, when, our celebrity crush
I feel
reveal.
I feel like I have to concede that he's going to be correct since he's been right on.
Well, where does
all
it
the
say
others.
on Box Office Mojo about four weekends?
Click on the weekend page, and then
Oh,
click on
okay.
the top weekend. It should say 4 day above that.
He can do it in his sleep right now. He's like steering you to where it needs to go. 126 is what,
Is that what he said?
We got Devin in the. He said 125, I think.
125 or 128.
Okay,
But
well, all right. So we both lose.
So,
then.
so we're mega losers. And the only reason Dick won is because he chose some ridiculous,
Steam Boy.
Yeah, Steam Boy that we'd never heard of before. Or was it Kazam?
Oh, Kazam.
No, Kazam is how he got his
Yeah.
point.
Kazam, easy.
Yeah. All right. Well, Chris, who's your celebrity crush?
It's Kim Kardashian.
No, it's not.
It is.
Are you kidding me?
No,
Dude,
it is.
what?
I swear.
Are you kidding
Does that mean
me?
you like all the family because they all
Nope.
look the same?
Nope, sure don't.
So you like a little junk in the trunk there, Chris?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, great.
How's your wife feel about
Yeah.
that?
Why do we need to ask that question?
I don't know if I've ever brought it up.
Yeah. Does she listen to the show?
No, not today.
Not
Hopefully
today.
not today.
Hopefully not today. Y'all
Yeah.
may be having a little fight. Well, mine's a little bit less salacious than that. But man, my celebrity crush, Amanda Seyfried. Y'all, I know
Really?
she's a little different looking. I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah, she kind of a lot of people don't agree with me on that. But dude, I like her a lot. I think she's really good looking. Well, Amanda Seyfried in my life. I don't think she's been in enough movies either. I always take a couple more Amanda Seyfrieds. All right. Well, Burris.
That's a little creepy.
As long as she's of age, right? Yeah.
And she's consenting, right?
Yeah, and consenting. That's right. Yeah, we got to cover all of our bases from now on whenever we talk about anybody
Yep.
that we are attracted to. Okay, Burris, thanks, man. That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Mine was Warwick Davis.
Who?
Nice.
I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
I have a thing for small
It's a
people.
good choice.
For small people. Yeah. So, Burris, we're gonna have to do that again because that was unbelievable. And next time, the Burris. All right, thanks, man. Okay, we're gonna go to break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back for just a couple minutes, and we're gonna wrap the show up. So stick with us here on the Ticket Stub.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Just contact the station on irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Relax with a cup of joe or your favorite drink for the Conroe Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce Chamber Chat. The show airs on the first Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. on Lone Star Community Radio. Join hosts Courtney Galley and Brian Bondi as they chat about the Chamber's events and programs for the month and invite Chamber members into the studio to talk about their upcoming events and businesses. Learn about your Chamber with Chamber Chat every first Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Let's begin now.
We're back on the Ticket Stub. All we have really is enough time to wrap it up. Chris, the Burris, man.
I think we're all amazed.
I'm glad we have time to wrap it up.
I'm glad we have time to wrap it up.
Sometimes you just don't.
Sometimes you don't always have time to wrap it up. Wrap it up. Facebook, we got a post from Wes Smith saying, wow, the Burris is legitimately incredible. Burris, you've impressed fans all over the world. This truly is a global show. We do want
I won.
Oh, yeah. Also, Dick won. Yeah, I forgot.
I stumped him, though. So,
Forgot about that.
mean, how is he incredible if I stump him?
Well, I feel like I guess Kazam was legit. Okay, Dick, wow, you're incredible. Next time we'll do Stump.
He's a guest.
We'll play Stump the Dick next time. And I think it will be less exciting and probably less impressive, but you did win. This is the first game you've ever won, I think.
I know. That's what I'm trying not to tell everybody about it, about my excitement, but
you're like, he's bubbling up, guys. He's giddy, like he's having trouble sitting still right now. He's so excited,
and he didn't even know how to play,
and he didn't even know the rules. So maybe the key is lack of preparation.
I guess so. Yeah.
Like in our preparation, we overthought it, Chris. Like
I think we did.
Yeah, we went way too mainstream. Really, it's about just like letting the most obscure movies come to you in the last minute. That's a lesson learned for all of us. Kids out there, don't try, don't plan ahead. Procrastinate and you'll win.
Just wing it.
Just wing it. Well, we do want to make sure that every week we're following up with our grand ticket giveaways. Last week I wasn't in studio, but we got the tickets to Wes Smith for commenting and liking our Facebook page. This week, or for the last week that's happened now, this may be confusing. That was 2 weeks ago. This week's winner for liking our post on Twitter is Connor Van Steenberg. Great name, by the way.
Is that your fake?
It's my name. That's my German alter ego. Yeah. And so always excited about that. And guys, every week, if you're listening to the show right now, every week, it's not a gimmick. We do give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater. In fact, we've got a friend of the show, Devin, in studio right now, and he won the tickets a few weeks ago with the What's Good Houston podcast. And everybody should check that one out. By the way, a little plug. There you go. And he
way too many plugs this episode. We need to calm it down.
We're wrapping it up, man. Hey, we're busy wrapping it up.
You gotta protect ourselves. All right, we gotta wrap it up.
I will say, okay, yeah. I will say that Devin texted me last night. He goes, "Hey, you got any theater recommendations? I'm trying to use those tickets you gave me." I said, "Well, they're only good for the Grand Theater, so that would be my recommendation."
Yeah.
And so he did go to the Grand last night, and and so anyways, it's real tickets.
Did you see the Emoji Movie?
Devin, you saw the Suburbicon. Bad, right?
Ooh, gross.
Very bad.
Gross.
He failed to look at Rotten Tomatoes before he chose that, I think, or something. But Suburbicon. So anyways, every week we're giving away 2 tickets. So make sure you check our social media because that's how we give them away. Facebook and Twitter, Ticket Stub Podcast, and @the_Ticket Stub. Next week, do we have movies we're going to watch for next week? Chris, you got anything looking ahead? Anything you're hoping to check out?
I want to see Daddy's Home too, if I can.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what would be stopping me.
Chris, when you first started coming on the show, you had so many great movie suggestions, and lately it's been Medea and Daddy's Home.
Yeah.
And
obscure choices. That's my deal.
You're going a little more obscure. Although that's good because you know what? You bring a little different you bring a little different something than what me and Dick might bring. Dick usually just doesn't watch one. You watch a weird one, and I try to watch one that people might actually like.
And I also pretend to have more knowledge than I actually do.
Which is great. Yeah. Dick, you got one you're looking ahead towards?
Yeah, I'm going to see Keanu Reeves' The Lake House.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon streaming. Always wanted to see
Of course.
it. I'm all into time travel movies, and we'll see if it's going to be any good.
Yeah, I heard that's actually the prequel to Cloud Atlas.
You know, that would make more sense, wouldn't it? No, I'm going to check that movie out. And another movie that came out on Amazon Prime, that's me. I hit the printer button. Isn't that horrible?
That's a loud beep. Wow.
The Girl with All the Gifts is on Amazon now. I don't know if anyone's had a chance to see it. It's kind of like
that beeping is distracting.
I'll get it, Jesus.
What are you printing?
Okay, well, the ones I'm going to try to check out, 2 movies that are on the horizon for this week. Murder on the Orient Express. I don't like Johnny Depp, but I'm excited about this movie. It's got a lot of great people. The trailer is really interesting. And I think that 3 Billboards movie comes out this week, doesn't it?
We don't have it.
Oh, but well, fine.
So no.
Well, then you know what?
Are you boycotting it?
On behalf of Disney, Chris is boycotting the 3 Billboards. I'm excited about that. I think it may be releasing. It may be a small release this week and may go wide a little bit later on. But looking ahead, that one's showing up. That is coming out. I'm pretty excited about that as well. So we want to wrap all that stuff up. Make sure you're tuning in, checking into the social media, and hey, we got one coming up. Bad movie of the month. We've talked about Zardoz. I was listening to a podcast where someone mentioned the garbage picking, field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon. I don't know if y'all have seen that great Tony Danza movie from the 90s.
Isn't that Invincible?
It's similar, except for the way he gets his skill at being a field goal kicker is his dumpster truck has a really bad lever, and he has to kick it really hard for it to crush the trash.
Are you sure they're not tricking you into watching Garbage Pail Kids?
Yes, actually, it's a crossover. It's a live animated Garbage Pail Kids. And also be looking out for more information on our live show coming. And also, Thanksgiving is 2 weeks away. It's on a Thursday. We will not be having a show. We'll be playing a best of that week, but we will have an all new episode coming for you next week.
How much do you want to bet I'm going to forget that?
Yeah, 100% you forget. You'll text me day of like you did last week and be like, hey, is everything okay? Like, where are you? I'm just now checking.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm concerned for your well-being. What a jerk.
If I ever go missing, Dick will be the first one to know because he'll be like, why aren't you here?
I know I didn't prepare, but I mean, I still thought we were doing something.
That's right. All right, guys, well, we've got to go. I hope you enjoyed the show. Like I said, share with a friend. Tune in next week. The Ticket Stub Podcast for Dick and Chris. This is Connor signing off.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show was recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.